Hello, and welcome to the Casino Tears podcast. I'm one of your hosts, 10 Ton is number one, and joining me as my co-host is the one and only Ed Robinson from Roll to Win Craps. If you want more info on our show, please visit our page at casinotears.com. On this week's show, we discuss low rolling at the Hard Rock, Ed's March 22nd trip, betting progressions, upping lay bets. We also touch on the come out game, power pressing, blue hairs, the world bet, and a sharpshooting grandma who crushed it. Hey, Ed, can you hear me now?
I still hear you.
Ah, perfect, dude. Nice. All right, man. Dude, what do you think of this Casino Tears shirt?
So how you doing?
Fucking awesome.
I love the shirt. That's the best shirt I've seen you.
Wait.
That's the best logo I've seen.
Yeah.
Casino Tears. Shirts are available in the store.
They're available. And I finally wore this. I wore this out thinking it might be lucky today, but we're not going to talk about what happened to me this afternoon.
We're not.
No, Ed. You know what, dude? In the spirit of the show, I figured I'd, become a super professional low roller.
Good for you. And how'd that go?
Let's table that. Let's table that and talk to. I'm practicing everything.
I know how it went then.
Ed.
We ain't gonna talk about it.
I'm practicing everything that we are preaching here. That's what I'm really trying to do. Practicing what we preach. Practice what we preach.
Practice like we play like we practice.
Exactly. Yep. So Ed, you had a trip that was very under the radar. No one knew about this trip, correct?
Well, very, very, very few, and most of my trips are under the radar.
Very inner circle. I mean, you did not let the world know.
I can't do that anymore. My host loves the podcast, by the way.
That's nice. Your host?
Hard Rock.
Nice. Hard Rock is the Casino Tears officially endorsed hotels in Biloxi.
Oh, it's the only one I endorse.
Oh, yeah.
If you're asking for an endorsement from me.
Let's make that clear. It's the one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Ed,
what?
Under cover of night, you took a little trip down to Biloxi.
Yeah.
How was it? I was very impressed, and I don't know if I'd say proud, but I'm more like, there he is. That's the man showing me pictures of tripling, quadrupling his buy-in. That's how you do it, while I'm definitely not doing that, struggling.
I've always played as a low roller kind of a guy. I mean, I've never buy in for large amounts unless I have to on a private table, especially on travel day. We didn't drive. We drove in Friday evening, got there Friday evening.
Does your wife get mad at you that you play crap so much?
No, she expects it.
Yeah, nice.
I mean, she expects it. I mean, she plays her
slots.
And the nice thing on Friday night was we went straight to the VIP lounge after we got unpacked and everything. And
nice.
Bartender and the server there knows us pretty well.
Ed's in town.
They wave and they bring us our drinks. They don't even ask what we want anymore. We had a drink. We go outside. You can sit outside there and watch the sunset.
Oh, nice.
Over the ocean, or go inside and play, whichever you want to do from the VIP lounge. I go inside. I've lost my wife. She's wandering around. We haven't ate yet. About the time I got my bets placed, here she comes. And we go to the half-shell oyster house inside and had another fabulous meal, which is, I mean, I love eating there. They've got 3 great restaurants there. They got a really nice steakhouse. They got the half-shell oyster house. And, of course, they've got the Hard Rock Cafe. And they've got another joint called the Sugar Factory, which I eat breakfast there some, but that's about it. I mean, it just doesn't sound right for me to go to the Sugar Factory. It sounds like a candy store or something. So I don't go.
Yeah, definitely not the place for type 2 diabetes or type 1.
No, but I mean, they have like, you can go there for breakfast and you can get steak. The steak and eggs is
Oh,
good.
okay, nice.
I mean, if I'm going to eat breakfast at a casino, it's going to be steak and eggs. You got to get you some protein. You got to get
Yeah.
stocked up for a long day of crap hunting.
Yeah, you are hunting and trapping, and you're gonna be on your feet.
I mean,
Yeah.
everything's legal when it comes to craps. I mean, you
Mhm.
can hunt them, trap them, shoot them.
Spear
I
them.
shoot them. I mostly shoot them.
Yeah, no. Well, that's your expertise, really.
Yeah.
I'm trying to just trap them. So,
You're
uh,
just you try to catch them in a corner somewhere and
anyway,
beat
dude, I
them with
got
a
to stop
club.
chasing them with my hands. That's the problem.
Mm.
That's why I haven't been so successful lately.
I had success Friday night, and then I had destruction on Friday night.
Yeah, but I thought you had even more success.
I did have more success. That came later.
Okay. So Friday night you played. So $500 buy-in on Friday,
Yeah, that was right after dinner.
1350. So instead of taking a dinner nap, you go out and just hunt.
Yeah, I bought in for 500 and colored up 1350.
I mean, come on.
And there's no, just for the record, there's no bonus bets of any type at the Hard Rock.
This is all pure muscle.
You earn every dollar. You earn every dollar
This is
that you
old
take off
school.
the table.
Old school ground and pound, man.
Yeah, and the dealers don't even want ATS. That dealers hate the ATS, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. I talked to one of them about it and they said if they had it here, they'd quit. And I said, if you had it here, I'd live here. But
Tell me about that session though, Ed. I would be so overjoyed sending you a picture of like buying 500 and you left up 1350.
yeah.
You made a 850.
Yeah. Wasn't a long session either. I mean, it was just pressing the numbers that you're hitting. If you're tossing nines, why would you press anything but the nine, right? Whatever the number was. I mean,
I'm going to ask you some questions now, Ed, because I now am so motivated to send you back the exact type of photos. So, and I'm just curious, how the hell are you doing it? How are you doing it with a $500 bankroll? Were you just betting point one number? Did you expand? When did you take? I'm curious.
if I'm tossing, my typical, it's on a $15, there were $15 tables and
What position?
stick left one.
Okay, stick left one. Nice.
I got in on stick left one on my favorite table.
Sweet.
It wasn't too crowded on Friday night at that point. Like maybe four or five people on the table.
Sweet. Perfect.
That's not too bad.
That's perfect.
And I'm playing lone wolf. I'm all by myself. My typical play, because we've got the automatic buys on the 5 and 9 at $20.
Yep.
So if forget what the point is, I would have 76 inside, which is 20, 20, 18, and 18.
Okay, so you are on a $500 buy-in, you're going 76 inside when you're shooting. For example, on this example.
Yeah.
That's
So that's not high.
that is not high. Percentage-wise, though, that's like going to get you through 6 shooters at that rate, right?
Yeah, but I'm not going to do that on 6 shooters unless I get to shoot 6 times.
That's just with you shooting.
That's correct.
Okay. All right, cool. So you're going heaviest, obviously, on yourself. Rightfully
Yeah.
so.
I'm not betting the right side on anybody else.
That's an important part. You have going there with absolutely, your default setting is zero faith in anyone else doing anything, right?
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes they beat your ass on the dark side, but
so the glass is empty. Basically, the glass is not half full with you when you approach a table. It is half empty, and no one is getting your.
I'm not looking for a run from anybody. No.
Okay,
I'm looking for zero. I'm looking for zero help.
This is
from
important.
the right side. I am at the Hard Rock, for crying out loud. This is not, the place where, like James Bond shows up and makes his big bet or anything.
Yeah,
It's mostly drunks and
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bunch of old hair, gray hairs, blue hairs, no hairs. They're all a bunch of us there.
I love that
What?
term, blue hairs. Oh my
That's
God,
the
dude.
ladies. That's for
That
the
is
ladies.
fucking hilarious. Man, there's a lot of blue haired ladies all over the place, all ages in California.
Well, when I was growing up, the blue hairs were the gray hairs that went and got their gray tinted to gray, and it came out blue. It wasn't purposely changing the color. I forget. Culture has changed.
Yeah, blue is a pretty popular hair color these days. Okay, so you're there with all the hairs, everyone.
And no hairs.
Yep, and no hairs, mostly no hairs, right? And
Yeah.
they're drinking. Okay. And you're not betting on any of them except yourself. So that can explain how you're, I guess, rationing out your bankroll, which is mostly on yourself. Cool.
Yeah. So I'm looking to make runs on myself and get my money. I've got my progressions that I use all the time on myself there.
Yeah, I mean it's down to a science at this point, but are you putting odds?
Yes. Well, on Friday night, I just was doing very minimal odds.
Odds in there are 3, 4, 5, correct?
No, they're 10.
Oh, 10 times.
If you want to man up, you can go 10 times your place bet.
That's awesome. Okay, so there's a lot of ways to do this. In general, are you only going 2x?
Friday night was typically, if the point was 5 or 9, I was doing $50 odds. And 6 or 8, I'm either doing 60 or $100 odds.
Oh, okay.
60 pays 72, 100 pays 120. I kind of like 5 and 9s is the point because it just feels good when you hit them.
For the people that are listening, that is a heavy, heavy chunk of your stack that you're ultimately betting on yourself. I mean, you really could be betting 1/5, 20% of your roll on you.
I'd rather bet it on me than anybody else.
No, but in general, because I was actually struggling with that today, going, fuck. It is like if I'm not shooting and I'm betting on other people, it's your bankroll goes fast.
So I do the don'ts on everybody else.
Yep.
I do a don't pass. If the point's 6 or 8, I place a 6 or 8 every time.
I was talking to someone about that. Sheets Parlinsky. I was out with him today. He brought that up. Yeah, I think he's going to try it.
Well, he won't lose as much. He might not win anything, but he won't lose as much. It depends on what hits, right? I mean, you don't know what somebody's going to throw. You called it a hedge.
Yeah.
I called it not really a hedge. It's more of a let's ease in and see if we can catch a hand. If the point's 5 or 9,
Yeah.
and I've got a don't pass, I'm not going to play the 6 or 8 normally. I'm gonna lay odds $45 and do a don't come.
Mm.
Don't come travels. If don't come travels to a 6 or 8, I leave it sitting there as a flat don't bet.
Mm.
And I'm trying to either pick up a 9 or 4 or 10 where I can do more odds
Mm.
in the lay. If they knock me off,
Meaning hit their point.
if you're only playing the right side of the game, you're only playing 50% of the game.
So I've heard.
Right. So there's nobody that I know personally any better than Darth Nader, Lord of the Dark Side, of playing the don'ts. I mean, he's got his moves and his maneuvers. I'd love to spend a week with him just doing nothing but dark side play in Vegas sometime, but I don't know when that'll ever happen. But
Man, I would too. I'd be like, bring my saber.
yeah, bring your
Yeah.
lightsaber.
Bring my lightsaber and just my big like hood.
Yeah. All right. So let's just say, for example, I
Okay.
did this a couple times, probably even once at least Friday night.
Okay.
Let's say I had a $15 don't pass, $45 odds. The odds would pay me 30 plus my flat, right?
Mm-hmm.
$45. Let's say they knock me off.
Okay.
And I've already got a 4 or a 10 sitting out there
Yeah.
with maybe $50 odds on it.
Mm-hmm.
50 pays a 50 lay on those odds would pay you 25.
25. Yeah.
I'll jump it to 100 on the come out.
Whoa.
You got to press up. If you get knocked off, that's why I like having other numbers out there, because if you get knocked off, you can double or triple up on a couple of those other numbers. And if they throw a come out 7, guess what? Everybody on the table wins, but you win more. So I'm trying to win my money back if I lose.
It'd be interesting to shadow you. I wish sometimes you could have like my dream was to always have like live cameras so you can actually go through like what someone's thinking when they're betting because there's a lot of stuff happening. Just what you just explained. There's a lot of stuff going on.
You gotta think it through. It's like if you got knocked off on your don't pass, don't place another don't pass bet.
Right.
Up your lay bet on the other don't comes that you've got out there, because you're wanting a come out 7. So if you had a don't pass down, the don't pass would lose and would cut into the profit you would make if they threw a come out 7.
Mm,
Does it make sense?
it does.
Learn that from Darth Nader.
Yeah, it's not going to make sense to people like Cheeks, Demon Dan, Sheets, maybe Sheets, but like, yeah, in a little more time at the table. But so Ed, you're 1350. How did you make $850 off of 500? How did you do it? And was it just on you? Was it the bulk on you? Did you shoot 3 times, 2 times, 5 times? Let's hear
I
it.
only shot twice.
Okay, awesome. Let's hear it, dude. Can you share what set you were using?
3-1-3-5.
3135.
But here's the key though. All right. So I mean, really, because I shoot for 2s, 3s, 11s, and 12s on the come out.
This is going to go over a lot of beginners' heads.
Yeah. It's the opening move. It's the come out game or the game GWAG, baby. Game within a game. I mean, it's normal for me to play that, especially at Hard Rock. I mean, the dealers just hold out. I mean, the sticks are just kind of like flip their hand over, like, you got come out action, Ed? Like, yep. So
And that means come out action, meaning Ed's going to be betting or we're going to be betting in that center portion of the table where we say stay away from for beginners. But we're going to be doing that on the come out roll, meaning when we're establishing a point.
And my come out game has been really good for the most part this year so far in this crap season. I mean, it's been, I can't complain. I mean, it's not a bet that you're going to win every time, but I do the world bet.
Yep. The world bet.
Most people will do it for $5,
Mm-hmm.
but I will do it for 10
Okay.
on a $15 table because it's been working. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's working, I do it for 10 and I'll throw in a $2 ace deuce kicker to go with it.
Yeah. I mean, the layman's dumb explanation for this is you're trying to have action on all the crap numbers, everything that's going on. 2, 3,
Yeah.
11, 12, 7, and 11.
Pass line. Okay. Your pass line will always win on a 7 or 11, right?
Yeah, that's what everyone.
But
Yeah.
it loses on a 2, 3, or 12, right?
Of course.
So I'm betting enough on that to at least win my pass line bet back should I throw a craps number and have enough to immediately press the world bet.
Yeah.
All right. So what happens? Okay, let's start from the bottom. All right. So you got a $10 world, $2
Ace deuce.
3 ace deuce, as we call it. And you got a $15 pass line. You throw a 7, right?
Yep.
The world bet is a push on a 7.
Yep.
So it doesn't change. Your ace deuce loses, but your pass line wins. They give me $15. I hand that $15 to the guy and say, press the world to 25.
Nice. Yep.
And then I drop 2 more bucks for the ace deuce. Got it?
I got it.
So now I got an extra $2 at play. You don't have to do that. All right. So then let's just say you throw an 11.
Bingo.
Pass line wins.
Yep.
$15. Your ace deuce loses.
Yep.
But the world bet pays $11 for every 5 that's on the world bet.
55.
So I've got 55 coming to me plus 11.
That's pretty sweet.
What are you going to do with that?
I'd keep going with it.
You press the world to 50.
Yep. That's exactly what you do.
And so this is not uncommon to happen. I mean, you could throw another 7.
Sure.
Right? If you want to, rack the 15. If I'm at 25 or 50, if I'm at 50 on the world bet, I don't worry about the ace deuce anymore. So
Yeah.
I got plenty of action that'll cover it. If you throw a 2, which I did, pass line loses, 15 goes off.
Mm-hmm.
I've got $50 sitting on the world bet. That pays you $26
For every 5.
for every 5, 260.
That is sweet. And look at how that happened.
And you hadn't even set a point yet.
No, I've got a very similar come out game when I want to do that. Although I'm always factoring in my ATS with that.
This is not worried about an ATS. And quite frankly, I'd play it the same way, even if it was an ATS.
Yeah.
Because you'd like to knock those numbers off. You try, if you're on an ATS table, you'd like to knock off at least one of those hard numbers before you start rolling.
That's so sweet when you can start out like that. It's like found money. The big thing here though is that you did not just like, oh sweet, I'm going to put it in my rack. You're like pressing that thing up and up.
You got to. Anytime you're playing a world bet, the first hit, you've got to press regardless. If you don't, it's not going to work for you because it's hard to throw 2 in a row. It's even harder to throw, obviously, 3 in a row. 3 is magic. Three is magic. Don't care if it's ace deuce, and a yo, whatever. Ace, you throw in a 2 or 12 in there where you're getting that $26 pop per every 5.
Mm-hmm.
You're making some nice money. And then guess what? You've got money now in your rack to bet with that you don't have to use your own personal bankroll for.
Yeah, you can get a little crazy.
So I hit a couple, 3 of those this weekend or so, but that Friday night I hit 1 or 2. And then I remember when I got up to 50 and the dealer asked me if I wanted an ace deuce. And I said, I don't need one now. I got $50 on the world,
Come out game is an underrated part of people's game.
Well, most people don't play it. I mean, you'll see a lot of people betting the C and E out there. And there's good reasons to play the craps check. I don't ever play the yo.
Crap check anyone this weekend? Did things get violent?
Yeah. No, I didn't have to check anybody this weekend. Everybody stayed out of my way.
Of course. They know with that come out game, that would have been a dream. I would have loved to have done that. Okay. So you're already up. You don't even have a point placed.
Yeah. And then it's still 76 inside. And now if I've got money, right, if I'm feeling good and my toss is working, like it, if your toss is working on the come out game, right?
Interrupting, you are setting for your come out game.
Yes.
I mean, you are setting.
Yes.
That's so awesome, man.
Yeah, I'm setting for, you know what I'm setting for? 2s and 12s.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, that's all I'm setting for.
Hell yeah.
And if I'm unlucky, I get a yo or a 7.
Yeah, or an ace deuce. You almost can't lose.
Well, if you get off axis, we're not going to get into all that, then you get a box number. So then you got to shoot for the box number. So I always set for the box number. If it's an inside number, I use certain sets. If it's an outside number, I use other sets.
Tumbling dice. Ed, thank you for reminding me. I got to write tumbling dice.
I got 2 more bottles coming, but from my bootlegger, not from them.
Yeah.
This stuff's strong. I'll be drunk in a minute.
That's good.
It's good for the show. But all right. So what else you want to know? Friday, I went to the crapless table.
Dude, continue after that beautiful come out game that you have and you're up a couple $100.
Yeah. I think I hit it all on, the 5s and 9s, which is kind of like my 2 numbers, one or the other. I get them pressed up quick to 200 from 20.
You and I, when we first started talking, we had some discussions and actually wrote out on a little whiteboard. I think I called it the Mississippi 5 and 9 pressing system, which was yours. It's awesome. It was tough for me to follow, but then again, 5 and 9s are different.
They are different. Yeah.
In Mississippi, and you have it down to a science, which I totally appreciate.
Yeah.
And that's what we should put on Patreon, like how you go up on 5s and 9s.
Yeah.
Which you called
Parson Press.
the Parson Press.
The Parson Press.
Which is sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were running the 5 and 9 up.
Oh yeah, I'll run the 5 and I'll run anything up, but I wasn't hitting that. I wasn't hitting 4s and 10s all weekend, really. Everything was inside. So you got to run with what you're hitting.
Sorry for the basic question again. When you've got that first initial inside, I guess, outlay of your whatever 70, is it 76?
Yeah.
When are you taking anything back in your rack on any of those hits? Because that's what anyone's going to want to know. Well, what happens if the 9 hits? Are you pressing or are you doing a combination of the both?
Well, there's 2 scenarios.
And do you always have the same system?
Yeah, 76. On me, I'll do $30 6 and 8, $20 5 and 9.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's say the 6 hits. That's going to pay 35.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm going to 42.
What are you doing with the rest? You're just putting in your rack, or you're moving?
I'm dropping $2 and they're giving me 25.
Okay. All right, cool. So you're making money
Yeah.
and increasing your bet. You are doing this religiously.
That's
like
all I do.
You have a set thing here, or we're going here, but we're taking.
I'm not going to collect 35 on a $30 bet. I'd rather drop $2 on that 6, go to 42, and then I've got a $7 bet on that number.
I guess what I'm saying is that it's always the same. Maybe not the increments. I am increasing my bet, taking some, but yet putting some in my rack.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's an $18 6 or 8.
Okay. What are you doing when that hits? Going to 24?
Put 15 in the rack.
Okay. And then keeping the rest.
Numbers partially paid for.
Nice. But you are never just leaving it same bet.
Oh, no.
That is an important thing to note.
Here's another thing that'll make a new dealer look at you kind of funky sometimes on an $18 6 or 8. And it hits, it pays 21. Drop $3 and say, take me to 42. That's a power press. That's what you call a power press when you're taking money out of your rack to add to the winnings to get to the next level.
That's a strong move, only made by professionals, okay, that know what they're doing. The power press, dude. I love the power press, man.
Yeah, you're taking your money, adding it to the winnings and moving your bet to the next level. And I do that on the 5 and 9 after the 3rd hit.
Yep.
In Mississippi, the 3rd hit on my progression pays me 116. I've got $80 on it. It pays 116. I collect the 116.
Right.
That's the only time I same bet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I'm putting a black chip in the rack.
Yep.
If it hits again, it pays 116. I got 80. I drop them $4 and I take that bet from 80 to 200.
That is right then. Power press right there. Power press.
Drop $4 and take it to $200, which pays 300 for 10 or $290.
That is super sweet, but I can't stress this enough, is that you know what you're going to do.
I know what I'm going to do on the next hit before I throw the dice. It's memorized.
Yeah.
It's in my head.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that you can't underscore that enough. Understanding whatever your strategy is, understanding where you're going.
Yeah.
So it is second nature. Like I know my power press on a 4, on 304, I'm power pressing. I'm throwing them 100. They're going to look at it and going to $1,000. That's a power press.
Yeah.
Right there. We're going to do that together.
We are. We're going to take that to House Max, and then you're going to run out. You're not going to be able to power press anymore.
We're going to power press that fucker up. Theme songs, 4 hits to $4,000, dude. And then we're going to make a 10,000 on it. It's going to be sweet. But that's the thing. You know what you're doing. And so many people just don't know what they're doing. You have a plan. You have a plan, and the plan is memorized, and that plan is memorized. And you can just recite that. You just know it. It's second nature. In fact, the dealers, you beat the dealers. I'm assuming, because I do a lot of times.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing them money. And then they know immediately. Dealers know what's up.
Well, when you do that, they know you're not the typical I've never played craps before guy. You know, you've got some experience, you know how to play.
Hell yeah, dude.
Anyway, can I finish my trip?
Yeah. So Friday night.
They opened up the crapless table at $25 minimum.
After you had won $850?
Yep. I got crushed.
Oh, really? Wait a second. Ed, you're human.
I am human.
You're human after all. You got bit.
Them damn craps, they got on my legs and started crawling up, and they got up into places I didn't want them. Hey.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, so what happened at Crapless, dude?
Couldn't get anything to repeat in too many short rolls. Too many short rolls. Nothing could repeat. You might hit an extreme.
How many times did you get to shoot at Crapless?
I shot twice, walked away.
What was your buy-in?
$800.
So you're playing with house money all the way around right now.
Yeah, I was playing with house money, but it was also a $25 table minimum bet.
Okay.
You know, and you got to bet some extremes, you got to bet some insides and that kind of thing. So, yeah, I got crushed.
Let's talk Crapless though. Do you remember how you did bet initially? $25 pass line bet?
Well, if I'm shooting, yeah, $25 pass line, $30 6 and 8, 25 on the 3 and 11, quarter in the field.
What's up with the quarter in the field?
I'm looking to either go ahead and, if it hits, split it and cover the 2 and 12, or to go ahead and first cover the 5, which isn't in the field. One of those two scenarios, depending on what I'm throwing, whatever starts, looks like it's hitting.
If I can refer back to our last podcast, when we were talking, you were saying, notice the big areas. You and I rarely make come bets or make field bets, but would be one of the exceptions.
Well, a $25 table is on a crapless can eat you alive in a hurry.
Tell me about it.
Well, I mean, you got 10 numbers. I mean, you got 9 numbers out there.
I got bit. I got bit today, man. I'm telling you. Thank God I brought a first aid kit.
I mean, the crapless is like this, folks. If it's not working early, get the hell away from it. And that's what I did. I mean, I threw 2 times. It wasn't very crowded on the table, and nothing was working.
Stick left one.
Stick left one, but on a 14-footer.
Yeah, tough, right?
With a traditional felt table, felt surface, traditional felt on top.
So when you say traditional felt, did it have a nice slap?
No, I'm sorry. It did. They've recovered that particular table. It had a microfiber a cover on it, but it just wasn't working. So I walked away, and I was like kind of pissed.
How much did you lose from those two attempts?
I bought in with 800,
mm-hmm.
and I walked with 200.
See, another one, kids. It can go fast.
It goes really fast.
Now you got to watch out. Those craps, they have some fangs, man. They get in, they don't let go.
My rule is to never walk away with an empty rack.
I love your rule. I used your rule today. It's part of my game now. Your rule.
Don't walk away with an empty rack. Don't let them take your rack. Don't let them felt you. If you can't felt them, don't let them felt you.
I like that, man. That is like a warrior motto. It's like you are just not letting them get it all. I did that today. I didn't let them take it all. It was like a victory within a loss.
Yeah, you got to make something positive happen.
I know that was tough, dude.
But no, seriously,
that was tough.
It's good. It's good for your inner ego, not ego, but your psyche, to not let them have everything. Right. So you got to walk away.
Yeah, you got to walk away, man. You got to walk away sometimes. That little change in my game. And this is why this podcast is good. I told Sheets today when we were driving, he's like, how much you bringing? I'm like, dude, I'm only bringing $620 for this, because I feel like I have to be held accountable if I'm going to be talking about craps.
I bought in with $620 all weekend.
Nice.
Except for the crapless.
Yeah, but you're cruising though with 800 that you just had that win. That's good. So you left the winner anyway. The important thing is that you made the attempt at becoming a big ass winner.
Yeah, and I went to the bar.
Nice way to wrap up a Friday.
No, I didn't wrap it up. I didn't wrap it up.
Whoa, you're going for your 3rd session on a Friday night? That was your drive day?
I went to the high limit slots after the bar.
Okay. There craps in there? I didn't know that craps hang out in the high limit
Nope.
slots.
But there's craps food. You can get craps food in
Oh,
there.
okay, good bait.
You can get bait. You
Yeah,
buy your bait. You can buy some bait for
that's
craps
true. That's true.
in the high limit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you do in the high limit slots?
I got down to about $200 and I collected, cashed out.
Okay.
You can't let them take it all, right?
Exactly. And that goes for the slots too.
That goes for when you're trying to find some
Hunting
bait,
slots. Yeah.
bait for craps.
Yep. Okay.
So
Yep.
I turned around. The machine right behind me
Hmm.
was a top dollar. Pulled it 2 times, and all of a sudden the damn thing started shaking, gyrating, and going off like it was in a dead gum strip center in the middle of I don't know,
Yeah.
1980s or something. I mean, it was just lights and bells and all this bullshit going on. I didn't even know what I wanted. It was an old machine. It didn't even tell you. You had to look really close at the fine print. I sent you a picture.
Yeah. Did it say you're a winner?
Yeah, $1,800.
Nice. That's a lot of bait. That is
That
a
was a
lot of
lot of
bait.
that was a lot of craps
Oh
bait
my
right there, buddy.
God. Bait for the entire trip and more. That's a nice win. That is a nice win.
Yeah, I actually tipped the people who brought me the money.
I mean, isn't that what you're supposed to do? That's why they do it, right? Get a little handout.
Well, I mean, it's their job, but I did tip them. I gave them $100.
Yeah, dude, big tipper. $100.
I gave them $100. I was drunk. I gave them $100.
Good, man. It's good karma.
Yeah. Then I went to the bar.
We hope you enjoyed this podcast and will tell all of your fellow craps playing friends about it. Please follow Casino Tears on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. If you like the show, please rate it 5 stars and leave a review. The best and most fun way to contact us would be to call and leave a message on our official Casino Tears vent line, 229-07. You can also email us at no7@casinotears.com. A full-length extended version of this podcast is available exclusively on our Patreon page. New episodes drop weekly every Tuesday. And lastly, to help support this podcast, you can visit our Patreon at patreon.com/casinotears. On behalf of Roll to Win Craps from Alabama and 10 Ton is #1 from Las Vegas, thanks for listening.